Welcome to the What Honed You Show.
where we externalize your internal champion.
And welcome back to another episode of the What Honed You Show. I got my right-hand man, Trevor Wittman, back in the booth with me. And today's guest, the one and only, I'm going to butcher it, maybe not, Fazav?
No, Fedez. Ziam.
Ziam.
So,
Hey,
hold on real quick. Hey, so you got to know that, we want to inspire you. We want to help you with like the mental part of life. And that's what fighters deal with. But when it comes to giving you knowledge, educating you, we will make you dumber. And Luke is one of those guys that will make you dumber. I'm going to be right there with him because, I nicknamed myself the Butcher because, when I was calling ESPN fights, I just was, I could never say the names. And once you say you can't say them, then you can't say them. It's like a mental thing. So if we ever screw up names, that's why I had nicknames for everybody. Like Shane Carwin was a fun one. You remember all the names?
Oh, yeah.
Shane drives a Caravan, not a Carwin.
Yep.
Insane in the Shane Brain, Shania Carwin. So I have nicknames because I screw up names. Like Rose Namajunas. I could actually say it right, but for so long I was Namajunas. I said it wrong, and I always felt bad. But hey, Luke, don't worry about it. We still love you, and you're good at what you do. You don't have to always be right with names.
I know. But, man, I tell you what, we've had the pleasure of, the last month with this guy?
It's been amazing.
And
thank you so much.
It really has been, like, I got to say, I saw you fight previous, but I had no idea, like, the level you bring.
Thank you.
I had no idea, like, you have been one of the best training partners in all these camps that we've had for Justin.
Absolutely, especially spending the time here. It's funny because when you watch someone on TV, I remember when I used to love to watch boxing, and you picture someone on TV and you see them in the ropes, and you get this perspective of what size they're going to be. I remember when Fedez came into our gym, and I've watched him many times. He came in, and I was like. I remember I had to have my wife rub my neck that night, and man, I looked up. I was like, "Dad, you are way bigger in person than what I would have been." Like, you still look tall in your fights, but dude, you have a build. Like, I love the long body type fighters.
Yeah,
they create so much leverage, and your body type is just, you're like the driver in a golf set. The longest club hits the ball the furthest, and having his body type for a fight like Paddy Pimblett, which is just, again, we need the right opponents. You are a better version of Paddy, I believe. I do believe you will be in title contention too, and I do believe he will be a champion. Getting around guys, it's not just the technique of what they do, it's the mindset. And the mindset that Fedez has is incredible. Yes. He's balanced. He doesn't have outside distractions. He's always focused. He comes in here, he warms up, he cools down. There's no there's such a professionalism to what you do. And man, we were so grateful. I told you after our Tuesday sparring session, I said, we owe you so much for what you have done for us. You came out here and just gave so much to us. And man, I am so grateful for you.
Thank you so much. I learned so much with you. I'm glad to be here with you guys. Honestly, it was a pleasure to come here. I saw a lot of video of you, Trevor, all your team, Justin Gager, and for me it's amazing to be here, train with you, and thank you so much.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
Let's rewind this. How did all this become? I was talking to Justin about this prior we got on the podcast. You're managed by Ali too, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of helped get this all going, right?
Yeah.
And you knew Kamaru too, or?
I know him because one day I trained in Killcliff FC.
Yep.
And I saw him there, but I don't know him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Ali helped set this all up, and man, what a perfect training partner it's been.
Yeah,
right?
It's been great.
I mean, honestly, you sparring back-to-back rounds with Justin and everything, it's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not easy.
But you did a hell of a job this camp.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When Kamaru was out here, when they came out pretty much together, same timing, and something stood out. He did 6 rounds that day, and then we're sitting around, and I'm like, "Are you done?" And Kamaru had asked for another round. And it was amazing because he was like, "Oh, I never turn down a round with a champion. Just again, there's mindset pieces that shine when it comes to athletes. That for me, I look at the little things. A lot of people look at the technical pieces, and it's mindset. And when people can be balanced and just understand, like if you want to be a millionaire, you put yourself around millionaires. If you want to be a champion, you put yourself around champions, and you start to act like them. You start to talk like them. You start to see what happens when you put yourself around greatness. And just his mentality. And again, I sat back and watched a lot because he has his own coaches. He's been so successful. I mean, you're in the UFC.
Yeah, you're top 15 right now, right?
He's ranked number 15.
Yep.
I watched on Paramount the other day, and they were showing Patty up there because I was watching something with Justin to Patty, and they said him and Patty are the only ones on a 7-fight win streak. I seen that you were on a 6-fight win streak, so that's what I wanted to ask you because they had you tied with Patty. Hopefully Paramount starts getting their data right, because this is a big thing to be launching on. I love that we're going into this because I think it's just going to just grow the sport so much. But from your performances and being able to watch you, I mean, you're a former kickboxer, your family has been in the fight world. Your dad's a boxer. I cannot wait to meet your father. That's a really cool thing. Like being a professional boxer, I always like guys that are pugilists, and pugilists. I don't know if you understand from the English standpoint. That boxing, the sweet science, the pugilist, like that is coming from a fight family. I get it. You've been around, and you've got to see what it takes to be a fighter. Your brothers did fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done judo, you've done jiu-jitsu, you've done kickboxing, boxing. That is so cool. From young age, like 13 years old. Like I started boxing around 13 years old, and that's amazing. Like when you grow up and how old are you right now?
28.
Dang, he's a youngster. Like dude,
Dang.
he's doing this, and he's not even close to his prime. I believe, from my experience, I believe primes are like 32. 33, 34, that's like where you prime because you have that older mentality. But I want to ask you, was it your family that got you into fighting? Was it watching movies? What was it that got you into this sport?
My family?
Yeah, like what got you into saying, I want to go get punched in the face and I want to punch someone in the face? What made you want to do it? And
to do
compete?
MMA?
Yeah.
Me and my brothers saw every time UFC on TV. It was super late because
time change.
difference,
Yeah.
And so we put in the morning watch, and the goal was MMA. The main goal was MMA, but in my city, the name is Givor, only kickboxing. So we start kickboxing at 12 years old. And after we do jiu-jitsu, judo.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Savate style of kickboxing is big in France, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Savate style is very cool. You're close to Holland, so you get that Dutch style kickboxing. I got to work with him a lot. I love Dutch style kickboxing. He's got a lot of the tendencies, and he had said, "Hey, I'm right there." So, like you could see it. Like I love taking low kicks. It's like one of those things. I love to feel the pain. I like to feel the soreness afterwards.
No.
We did an hour straight of low kicks, and dude.
Yes.
My wife was like, "Who kicked you?" Because only Justin does that to me. Only Justin does that to me. And dude, I was like, "Holy smokes, my legs are feeling it. Are feeling it, dude. He can kick for sure." At his knees, like the Frivola fight, like Matt Frivola, like that knockout with just pulling the head to the side, knee outside, like in the clinch, like beautiful. Your technique is amazing. Your stepfather also jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, my stepfather put me to the combat sport.
Oh, really?
Because my father was pro boxer. I want to do, but my mother said no. Bad example for her.
Smart mom.
So when she get married with my stepfather, she trusts him, and we do like MMA, jiu-jitsu.
Really?
But yeah, my stepfather fought MMA. He was European jiu-jitsu champion. So yeah, he's like my main coach. Like
Really?
Amazing.
Now, every time I go to see my mom, we watch fight.
Oh, that's so cool.
You can fight this guy.
Yeah.
Look. So,
Really?
That's really cool. Let's speak about the boxing and the mixed martial arts. When my first fight coaching was Nate Marquardt against. Actually, excuse me. My first MMA corner was Dwayne Ludwig against Jens Pulver. That was in 2003. Then I got to go to the UFC and had my first UFC fight was Nate Marquardt and Ivan Salaverry. I was so scared of MMA. Like I wanted to be a ninja when I was a kid, but I was getting back into it. And I remember when Nate picked up and slammed Ivan Saliveri and the boards, how loud it sounded. I thought MMA was so brutal, but I had so much time coaching world championship boxers. The damage that you take in MMA is so much less, and that's a cool thing that you speak about with your stepfather, like and your mom saying, "Hey, I want you to do mixed martial arts," because guys, it is very safe. Like boxing, when we were going 10 rounds or 12-round fights, we always piss blood. You know, fighters would ask me after a win, "Did I get knocked down?" And I'm like, "No, you didn't get knocked down." Like wars, like boxing, and the wars are in the gym too. It's a different thing. So that's cool that your mom says something like that because there was boxing. You don't see the brutality because I was like knee to the head, like bone on bone, the slams. But I mean, I can go on and on my theories with this, but that's really cool that your mom noticed that.
My mom, she drive. We go far from my home to do some fight. She drive because my stepfather don't have the license to drive.
Yeah.
So my mom do, and she say, if you don't win, you don't come back to the.
That's awesome.
So every time we
Hey,
need to win.
motivation.
That is.
Motivation.
That's crazy. So let me ask you this: what do you like better? Do you like the stand-up part of MMA or the ground part of MMA?
Now I like the wrestling on the ground part.
Really?
Yeah, because I do too much like kickboxing
You
fight,
did a lot of that.
and every time I fight, people come to wrestle me. I say, okay, I'm gonna wrestle, counterattack,
Yep.
yes. So I like.
Yeah, I guess me watching you through this whole camp is like, I don't see any of the weakness. Like I knew you were a good stand-up fighter,
Yeah.
but then I started watching you grapple, and I'm like,
Amazing.
dude, this guy's a stud,
Well-rounded.
like stud, and I'm like, holy
balance.
cow.
Like,
Yeah.
look at his family life. Like again, it's coming from a family of the fight world. Your beautiful wife, Sephora, like just amazing person. My wife fell in love with your wife. She's just
Thank you.
was teaching my wife French.
Yeah.
It's like amazing. Your son Ibrahim, amazing family. Getting to spend time with your family. You got great balance. MMA is all about balance. Like you have to be able to be balanced. And ISKA champion.
Oh, really?
Exactly. So you know why he's So he
Holy
kickboxed
cow.
like he's.
That's what Dwayne was too.
Yeah,
wasn't
and he was kickboxing
Dwayne
at 14
was
years old.
Yeah.
So like
K1,
he's
he was
K1,
K1.
Glory, Bot Glory.
yeah, yeah.
So your experience is top notch. But again, I go back to the mindset. I love it. I can always tell when you have a badass fighter in front of you by the way they speak because they don't act tough.
Yep.
It's the guys that puff their chest out and walk all tough. Like I ran gyms for many years, seven different gyms over 25 years. And the funniest guys that came in that puffed their chest out, I was like, all right, these guys are, egotistical. They got to put on that fake shell. The nicest people in the world, I'm telling you, the people that don't speak, we were just speaking with Corey yesterday, a guy that doesn't talk that much. It doesn't look like he'd even fight a day in his life. You imagine someone messing with him in a bar? Same thing with you. You're just such a pleasant person, very spiritual. Like, again, the balance, what it takes to be a great fighter. Like, you are the full package. And having him out here, I hope he comes back to Onyx many more times.
Yeah.
I want to be able to meet your coaches because your coaches have done a great job. Like,
Yes.
I'd never go away from what your foundation is. Obviously, you have to go to bigger gyms and get more sparring partners because you outgrow that. But you talk about your coaches. I love that. Like never forget where you come from, and you have that.
Oh.
And anytime you guys are welcome, even if you're not out here, I'm going to be a super fan and watching you
Yes.
and sharing the time with you. I felt like I have created a great friendship, and man, I'm looking forward to the future.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we're excited just to watch your career just, keep going now.
Yeah.
Now that we know you. I was going to ask you, what has it been to being like here in Onyx? What's it been like your experience?
For me, honestly, it was a dream. Like before my fight, December 6th,
Yep.
I watched all video of Kamaru, of Justin,
Yeah.
and I want to learn, know how you work, like who is a grappling coach, who is a
Yeah. The
jiu-jitsu
wrestling coach.
wrestling
Yep.
coach, main coach. I know is Trevor, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So to be here is like I love because it's private, and the coaches are focused on the fighter. Like the fighter can evolve when he don't have fight, and when he have fight, he's focused on the fight. That's I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
been
it's
cool.
very private. Like
Yeah.
no distractions. We have no windows in here, so it's very private. And I'm very grateful for us to come out here, and a lot of times it's hard for me to get a lot of times with guys. I got one main session with you, and a little bit here and there, but write out schedules for him. He just comes in, gets the work done.
Works.
Like it's just amazing. Like I can't wait to get more time with you.
Thank you.
But you're right. Like when my fighters are around and they have fights coming up, my focus is them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously I want to help out our partners that come in, but again, very grateful for you coming in and just
Thank you,
being
thank
such a great partner. Like there's no distraction. Sometimes you get guys in and they're very needy.
Yeah.
The needy people, again, if you can't do it on your own, I always tell fighters that it's very important that you become the coach. And what I mean by the coach is, I wouldn't even say the coach, but you get mentorship and you get seeds planted from coaches and teachers and mentors. It's up to you to do the repetition over and over and over because you're the one that has to go out and practice. My dad actually played very high-level baseball, and he would tell me I need to go out on a brick wall and throw the ball and learn to catch it and find ways to just drill and repeat and repeat and repeat. And that is, again, another sign that just really stands out is that mindset of coming in, you get the work, then you just get to work. You're just, you're not a quiet guy. You're very, very friendly with everybody.
Yep.
But you can see you got that tunnel vision. You got that target. With that, what does fighting make you feel? Like, again, a lot of people look at fighting as being brutality. And I try to tell people who don't understand the sport that you're not really facing an opponent. You're facing yourself. And that's what I got out of fighting was like, I felt like I became a better man. I never wanted to fight in the streets. And I was a very wild kid. I did a lot of wild stuff. Fighting taught me that, dude, don't fight in the street, like, because there's killers out there you don't even know about, and it really humbles you, and it makes you find out a lot about yourself. From the mentality of fighting, what have you gained that has helped you in life outside of fighting?
Yeah. For me, it's like never quit. Like I don't know the name in English. Like when you tap, like
Yep.
no,
You're giving up. Yeah.
You're not giving up.
You
No,
can't ever quit. Quitting's not an option. Yeah.
Yeah, know this, and they help for like confidence. Like you can like fight in street, but no, you keep calm because and it's more important to help people to like smash people for me.
Absolutely.
Like if you see one guy try to like fight in one guy is smaller,
Yeah.
try to like say, hey, no, it's not good. Because for me, it's like a fighter can fight in street, like can kill people,
Mm-hmm.
but we it's not good to do that. It's
Absolutely.
more to help people to fight in street for me.
The fighters, they get this mentality. And again, I'm talking about, there's always your select few that have that mentality and they want to be that egotistical guy. And something that works for people. Everything, in this sport, many different things can work. But if you watch the guys that elevate this sport, where they can go out there and give people hugs. One stands out to me with Rose Namajunas and JJ Joanna. When we fought her, we had a bus attack where Connor actually attacked the bus. So it was a tough experience, and it was one of the hardest fights for me to allow a fighter go into the fight because of that experience. And Joanna was like really bullying her and saying all sorts of stuff. And I remember Rose started saying her prayer. And after she went out there and stopped Joanna, Joanna was like an unbeatable, she got this little pouty face. And she said, I just wish everybody would hug. We're going through tough times. And that, to me, is such a cool thing because Rose, when you watch her fight, such a killer.
Yeah.
And then when you see her afterwards, she's such a nice, pleasant person. And that's a cool thing about fighters is being able to get around fighters. You realize that they're actually probably the nicest people you're ever going to meet. They don't have this fake ego. They don't have to. They know they're tough. And that's a great thing because, I know a lot of fighters that don't even talk about their record, don't talk about anything because they don't need to. And again, they're doing it for themselves. One of our logos with Onyx, the N is a one-on-one. And the reason why I put that in our logo is because I feel like you're facing yourself. Mm-hmm. When you get hesitation in any fight, when I talk to a fighter after the fight, what were the flags? Were you hesitating? Did you start to pull back because you're worried about your conditioning? You're facing yourself. And then you always see the guys hug afterwards. There's such a release. You just shared a chaotic situation, the build-up, fighting in front of millions of people. But once you get done, you have respect for your opponent. And that's what I love about it. That's what made me fall in love with boxing was watching like Mike Tyson, who would be
Yeah.
so tough, had that look on his face. Afterwards, go kiss someone on the forehead and say, "Oh, I love you." You know,
with
like
his
like
voice.
like the killer. I fell in love with that as a child. So that's actually what got me into the sport.
It's funny how that worked because like before I got into training, I was that guy that always looking to fight.
Yeah.
And then once I started learning like mixed martial arts and like what I could actually do, I didn't have I wanted to go to the gym and fight a guy that knew how to actually fight
Absolutely.
before I would go,
And
to
it's
the
a
bar or
release.
what. Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's a release. Like a lot of us have energy, whether it's a negative energy, positive energy, it's energy. And we have to know how to release the energy.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's nothing better than once you get done with a hard session, with your jaws like not lighting up, and you're like you go home and you're just like, but you're content.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that feeling. Like a dog, if you have a
Yeah.
wild dog, you run them, and then all of a sudden they're great dogs. They sit around, they tell them to sit, they'll sit. Like as a puppy, that's a cool thing about this sport. This sport, I recommend. Anybody who is a fan of the sport, go into a gym, find a gym. It could be jujitsu, it could be kickboxing, boxing. Like you're not going to have to spar if you go into a good gym.
Yeah. You don't have
You're
to
not going to have to spar. Like go learn. And then most people through my gyms is when you came into a gym and you start doing it, almost all of them say, "I never want to spar. I never want to spar." And then 5 months in, they're like, "Hey, can I try sparring?"
Yeah.
And then a good coach, a good leader will lead them in and do some tech sparring and not fear them out of the gym. And this sport, once you get involved with it, it's one of the scariest things to go into. But once you find it, you find new friends. You find people who are like-minded. You'll find so many people who are like, "I've never planned on fighting and probably never will." But it doesn't matter what age you are, too.
Yeah.
Go in. It's a great way to get fit. And my favorite part about it is I feel everybody needs to release energy. Release energy. You make better decisions. MMA, martial arts in a full, all combative sports brings so much to the table. And I recommend anybody watching who is a fan of the sport, go try it out. I think you would enjoy it.
Yes.
And the fight is a feeling you can't buy.
Oh, yeah. It's
Emotion. You
It's a
can't buy.
high, right?
You can
Dude.
win on super happy,
Yeah.
like you can lose super sad.
yeah.
But it's a part of the game, and that's why we love this game.
It is.
For me,
So, something that stands out to me
Yeah.
is getting to, when we wrapped our own hands when we did amateurs at my time. And I'd wrap my hands, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Every time I wrap my hands. Because they give us,
I
it
think
was
every
like
fighter
80,
goes through
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Every fighter.
What
goes
am I
through that.
doing? But I'll never forget the feeling afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like, what was I worried about? That I can't, when's the next one? I remember once I got done, I was like, I'll fight tomorrow if I could.
Yeah.
And then tournament fighting, when I did tournament fighting, the first fight was so tough.
Yeah.
The second, third, fourth, it was like you're in mode, like you're ready to go. And we
Yeah.
fight 2 times a day, so it's like you get in these modes of once you go out there and face fear you start to really enjoy. Like fear is if you fear it and you run from it, yes, it'll control you. But the opposite, there's 2 sides to every subject. So if you so there's a left, there's a right, there's a sweet, there's a sour. Every subject has different perspectives. Fear, when you turn it into faith, whether it's through spirituality and through your religion or whatever you believe in, learn how to turn something that scares you into faith. Face it. Face it with faith. And then it is not fear no more. And if it can't control you, it's not fear. So I actually fell in love with fear. And fear was one of those things that if it scared me, I wanted to know why. And that's what helped me be successful as a coach, was getting people to understand that, hey, it's going to be scary. And don't sugarcoat it. Like, you're going to be scared. Your stomach's going to feel really weird. You're going to feel like you have butterflies. Everybody is sick before they fight. Like, I don't know, man, I'm tripping on my toes. Oh, you fight that mental battle of, man, I keep tripping over my feet. Am I going to do good today? There's all this thought process that goes in. But the whole thing is, once you get in there, everything slows down. And no matter how bad it is, even the losses teach you so much in life. A loss is great. Looking at your record,
You learn.
yeah, there's no consistent losses in yours. You jump back on win streaks after losses. It's okay to fail. That's what I love about mixed martial arts compared to like boxing. Boxing, when you become a professional, one loss really hurts you in boxing, because you get guided by these promoters, and it's very political, and you get the right fights, and there's so many different promoters that's protecting their guys, so they want to get the right guy that they can get ranked to go, hey, we're going to fight for the number 1 contender, and I'm keeping my guy safe, so I'm getting stylistically the right fight in front of you, or a build-up fight for the championship fight you're about to have. When it comes to mixed martial arts, especially UFC, when you get in there, you're fighting everyone. And I love that. And that's the cool thing, is they don't look at it as like a loss. And we actually had a conversation that don't worry about the loss, perform. A lot of times when you go in there and you have people around you who tell you, you have to win. That to me, I feel Dana White in the UFC has done a very good job of understanding just perform. Go out there and lay it on the line. And that's where you really learn. If you go out there and you hesitate and you're trying not to win, you pull things back. You're like, oh, I need to get through this. Oh, I think I'm ahead. Like, never trust the judge. Go out there, perform. And there was one time where we had a guy fighting a wrestler, and my guy was not a wrestler, and he was just doing wrestling. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to learn wrestling in one camp. I like that you're doing wrestling, but don't overthink the wrestling. Go out there, be you, and when you throw a right hand, and they're shooting under just your right hand, but they weren't shooting underneath your hook, they weren't shooting underneath your jab, you know what you have to adjust. So lay it on the line, go out there, and that's the cool part about the MMA is who cares about the loss? Go out there and perform. Obviously, you don't want to lose continually, but
That was my
Bro.
first UFC fight. Somebody of my team talked like you.
that was in Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lose. You need to win. And I secure the win. Like not good performance.
Yeah.
Like I do only for win. So right now my mindset changed. I'm like in the cage. I'm free. I can do everything. Like wrestling. You want to wrestle? Let's go. You want
Yeah,
to grapple? Let's go.
absolutely.
You want striking? Let's go. You want war? Let's go. You know. And that's UFC loves that. Like
Absolutely.
you offer what they want. Good performance, good fight. You can lose, but good fight. You stay in UFC.
Absolutely. That's a thing I noticed too, like high level fights, like championship fights. And these are conversations I have with champions once we get the belt. And I continually had this with many champions. Is you're not defending your belt. Defending is defense. When we lay that belt on the table when we walk, if we're defending our belt, we lay that belt on the table, and it's no one's belt once you get in that octagon. Now, you were the champion until you stepped into that octagon. Now it's an open belt. So you have to treat this like you're fighting for the championship the first time. You hold it for that timeline after you win it. But when it gets set down on the table, don't go out there and defend it. Because a lot of guys change. They're like, hey, like you were saying, I just need to win. I just need to win. And you start to pull back from what made you great. I think mentality and how you do it and anything in life, you have to go out there and take.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in a negative way. Not like I need to go take something from someone. Obviously, in the fight world, we have to think that way. We have to be somewhat selfish. But you have to go out there and be your best. That's all that matters. And when you do that, it's funny how success just starts to happen because you grow. And training for a fight right now, he's training for a fight. No, he's not training for a fight right now, but when he does train for his next fight, he's not just training for that fight. He's training for when he becomes a champion. That's you win championships one round at a time, one fight at a time, and you have to be able to build on that. And if you're not growing through that, you're going to stalemate and you're going to hit that flat line. So that's just a little bit of advice from my standpoint. And I love how Fadez had mentioned that because you have to know that now. Awareness that you notice that is huge. I mean, you got a fight bonus in the dude, the Matt Ferfola, the knee. Deserved a bonus. Sweet
Honestly,
finish. And he's a killer. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, and when I give the knee, like I saw if his hand like no in the ground, I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna try. But I don't like imagine like he gonna be knocked down.
Yeah.
I just throw the knee and I saw him like that.
Go limp.
And I go to punch. Okay, it's not necessary, but like I was too much focused. I didn't see.
No, it's you're in mode like that tunnel vision that you get in. The no distractions. Like you don't. It's hard to hear everybody around the crowd. Like you get tunnel vision.
That is why the refs there.
Yeah.
That is why the refs there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're doing your job.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, like championship mindset now, like he was talking that you were getting. Now that you have worked with a guy like Justin Gaethje, what can you take from his camp and his mentality and the way he is? What do you take from working with Justin?
The two first day I was here, I already asked the question to Justin, what is your mindset when you go to the fight? And he tell me like, for him, like he don't want hurt people, but he have no choice. The guy won't hurt him. And he say to me like, you need to know like this sport is dangerous. Like, when you go to the cage, you are in danger and you need to protect yourself and need to hurt the guy. So I say, this is very good. Like you come and you already know all the part of this game and you go like free. The mind is off and just try to hurt the guy.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why he's like top fighter of the world, because he go on his mind is off and try to smash the guy.
Absolutely. That's been fun for a coach for
Yeah.
me. I have to pull him back sometimes because he gets so
Yeah,
vicious.
he tells him to take
Yeah.
it.
I'm like, pull it back because he
Yeah.
gets a little, has a tendency
He
of
gets
getting
so
wild.
into it, and
But he
tells him-
has, like, he gets in that mode that he's built for that. Like, when we go snowboarding, he's crazy. Like, he does the crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I have to pull him back a lot snowboarding. But he is one of those guys that when he goes out there, it's when you're doing things like that, hesitation will kill you. So it's that mindset. You can't go out there just being relaxed. This is not sparring, and I love that. Like George St. Pierre, George used to be one of those guys. Never again. I never sign contract. Never. And then, dude, it'd be so mad. There was one time we were on the bus with Shane, and Shane's like, "Hey, George, how you feeling?" And he's like this. He sit in the seat in front of us. And Shane's huge,
Yeah.
And, the Shane's knows him very well, and he's like, ask him something. And George is just nervous because he's going to a press conference. He doesn't like any of that, the process going
Yeah.
into the fight. And Shane's like, well, fuck you then. It's just funny how he said that. But George is in his own mind. And then George would jog to the fight. And that's that thing of like fear. Like he understood the fear going into it. But
Yeah.
once he got into that mode, when you treat it real, that's where you perform. Again, you have to be like that. You can't feel sorry. In an amateur boxing match, I've outclassed a guy before. Well, I didn't want to punch him no more because I was better than him.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that kill in me. So that's why I love being a coach, because that's a hard switch to hit. Like when you feel like you're just hurting someone, and I don't want to put someone out that I'm better than. I just get them to the next fight. And that was amateur. I never got to fight professional. So that is a mindset that you have to have. And that's a hard piece.
Yeah.
Like you have to get that going, because this is you or them.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think like, where you're at in your career now, and like for you to come and train with a guy like Justin, like we all know that, Justin's at the end of his career, right? How does it feel to train underneath him, to go round after round with him? I mean, it has to be like a confidence booster, right? With you.
For me,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
for
Like
sure,
you
yeah.
belong here, right? Like you belong in the sports, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like how is in his career, I can do it. Like he go, why I cannot do it? So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for me, is like push motivation. I want to be like him. Like he fight for interim belt.
Yep.
All his last 5 fights was top 5. So
Yeah.
he fight good guy and still here, 37.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to be the same. Like
Absolutely.
37, 38 after finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. Like, what was your perspective of Justin before you met him? Like before you get over here, were you like, oh, he's gonna be like a, because everybody has
He's an
that
asshole.
where they're like, dang, when a guy fights like that, a lot of times when you hear him speak after the fight, their adrenaline's going, so they're screaming out names or whatever. Everybody has a different perspective, and that's a cool thing. Like just understanding. Like, was he different than what you thought from a personal standpoint?
Yeah, but honestly, not too much.
Yeah.
When I saw the video, because I watch a lot of video.
Oh, nice.
I know he have like good heart. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got
And
great heart.
I really feel that with you guys 1 month like here. I really feel that, and but for the sport, like I was thinking in the sparring is gonna throw
Yeah,
a hard
yeah.
punch. He give me some good punch.
Yeah.
But he's I know sparring and fight is very different.
Yep.
You can win the sparring, but fight is different. Like
Yep.
in fight, he can like kill people. You
Yep.
know. But yeah, for me, it's like I learn good.
Yeah, he's a very controlled sparring partner.
Yeah.
And he
And
takes care of his. Like he will make you work and definitely hit you with a good shot, but he always look at you. It was the best because he took something in the eye and he was blinking, and Fedez was like, "Hey, okay."
good?
Justin's like, "Hey, don't worry about me. If I got this, I got to deal with it." Like it's a,
Yeah.
he's got that tough mindset, but also he's there for his partners and he cares.
Well, and that's works both ways too, because
Yeah, I'm
you
glad
are
too.
definitely a good training partner too.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You take it because I mean, you guys were actually great dancing partners, and I could see you try to mimic a little bit of Patty
Yeah.
to be that guy, dude. It's tough
For
to go
sure.
back rounds with Justin,
Yeah.
and for you to be out of your style, you were a great training partner too.
Thank you so
You know,
much.
So that was something that stood out to me. Is
I
like,
don't want. I want he win. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I didn't come to like test myself. Like yeah, I'm gonna choose some good punch. I know he's sparring. Like
yeah,
he don't need that. He just need to be confident for his fight. Need to
push.
push because if I don't push him, I didn't respect him.
Yep.
For me, it's like that. We need
Absolutely.
To push.
Oh,
You're,
you-
you're helping each other.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have to give someone friction. Like you have to make it uncomfortable, and that's what we're looking for partners. But I also, as a coach, when we bring partners in, I'm always watching the first sparring session, just kind of see if there's stuff that's happened. And there's some people out there that just naturally hurt people because they just do stupid shit, but it's not malicious. They're just
Yeah.
doing weird stuff, and they're trapping your knee when they're putting you down, and little things like that. But yeah, I'm looking for those tendencies. And yeah, after first sparring session, I was like, this is awesome.
He's good.
This is
Yeah.
awesome. And I was
It
talking
was
to him
good.
like this.
I know.
I like, damn, he's big.
Well, at first,
Kamaru told me,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Kamaru. Someone told me at a certain point you fought 145.
That's
and I
what
asked him,
I
he
said.
said, no way. I was like, dude,
I was like, there's no
how
way you
would
fight
he-
145.
How much weight do you cut for a fight?
Honestly, like after Thursday night,
Yep.
I'm in 163, 164.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that's
not too much.
that's about what we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not too much. But now I am 186.
Are you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you on that
I-
Kamara program, dog?
I-
He's big, dude.
Yeah, I come here like 180.
Uh-huh.
After 182, 184, now 186.
Yeah, you get muscle now, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, so you train out at Kill Cliff, and how many camps have you been out there?
I think two.
Two.
Yeah.
Two
So
camps.
so how'd you get that connection? What made you go out there?
I trained before. I trained in Sweden, All Stars Gym with
Yep.
Hamza team,
Yep.
Yep.
and I know a guy. He was my coach there. His name is Selman, and he told me it's gonna be good gym for me because I'm striker.
Yep.
So
They
he
got a ton of guys.
He
Yeah.
connect me with Henry,
Yeah. Nice.
and I go there train like 2 months. After I need fight, but
Yeah.
cancelled.
Yeah.
And after I do another 1 month.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great gym. I've known
Yeah.
Henry for so long. A
Henry's
good buddy
very
of
good
mine.
guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
amazing guy.
Yeah.
Amazing guy.
A lot of good guys out of there.
Yeah. A lot
A
of
ton.
good. When
Big
I
floor.
when I go, I train with Fiziev.
Nice.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. He's a dude. He's such a fan of him. Like being able to share the octagon with the Fiziev was
Twice.
amazing. The first one, like I was such a fan when I watched him kickbox. I used to love how he'd lean back away from the
Yeah.
kicks. Like just an amazing athlete, and he's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
After the first fight, we really connected. Before the second fight, got to have some conversations with him. I respect him. We invited him out. Like we'd love to train with you. I have nothing but respect. The amount of kickboxing fights, man, he is so tough. I remember after the first fight, I went up to him, but I always try to go up to the opponent first, just out of respect,
Yeah.
make sure they're okay. And again, this is a sport first. There's a lot of brutality, and he was pretty busted up, and he was leaning on the octagon. And I came up and I patted his back, and I said, "Man, keep your head up. You're amazing fighter. It's an honor to share the octagon with you." And he wasn't really like paying attention to me. And then he looked over and he's like, "Oh, coach." He's like, he busted my face off, and I'm like, it doesn't look that bad. I was like, go back and shower, it won't be too bad. But he's just such a funny character, such an amazing person. Fast, he's so fast,
yeah.
right? Oh my gosh, he's so fast.
He's good. He's really good, too.
Yeah. He have good combo.
Yeah, his
Like,
combos,
yeah.
like again, the Dutch style, just rush you down, like combination punching. I love it.
Yeah.
Such a
Tough
fan
as
of him.
nails, dude.
Dude,
Tough
just
as
an
nails.
awesome person, just everything about him. And also another person with amazing
Yeah.
family and super cool to watch. So speaking about like personal, dude, he gave me the best honey I've ever had. And out here, I always get like organic honey, and I get like Colorado grown honey. I love honey. I use it all the time, and medicinal purposes when I'm not feeling good, also just for the health. And man, he has his own beehives,
Yeah.
raises bees, and his honey is like a light gold. Like ours is like brown.
Dark.
And his is so light. And he showed me his spinning process. He actually filters it many times prior to doing it. Got to show me him, going in and getting the bees out. And he's got names for every one of them.
How long
I'm
you-
joking. He don't have
I was
names
like-
for everyone. You imagine how many bees do you think you have?
Wow.
I think you have
100,000? Like how many bees?
inside the box.
Yeah.
Like maybe 5,000.
Wow.
Dang.
Maybe more.
I got a goal for you.
I
Name
don't
them.
know. Yeah,
Name
yeah,
'em.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How long have you been doing that now for?
Now, 4 years.
You make money? Do you sell it? Do you sell it?
We try to make money, but we don't have so much like bees, like
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah.
So
Enough.
why you try to do like is to buy real honey, like organic, test in labs, and making in the I don't know the name.
The jars. Yep.
The
Yeah,
jars?
Yep.
and sell it because too many people has to them, but
Yeah.
we have like maybe 20, 40 kilo. Is
Yeah.
not.
And that's
Not
it's so.
enough, yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
doing something like that, like I've done a lot of stuff like that. It's very hard to scale, and that would again your focus is fighting, but
Yeah.
just from I did a lot of stuff of growing stuff, and it'd be for my friends and things like that because I like to give, and I'm sure that's probably something that you do. But he used to have a sheep.
Yeah.
He has a farm, so
Yeah,
that to me is a
before-
super
before.
cool thing. Like
Oh,
yeah,
you
just
ha-
kind
you
of
do
give it a
have a
feeling.
farm.
Like
Yeah.
me and my friends like buy big garden, no house, just garden, and we do like chicken, sheep. We try tomato, like
Nice.
mint.
Yeah.
We have cherry. We have chestnut tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And
Nice.
we start this like 4 years ago.
It's
really?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about growing. I don't know if anybody's out there. Like growing is such a cool thing for me. My children are older. My son is going to turn 28 in March. Man, he's grown so fast, crazy. My daughter just turned 18, and as your kids start getting older, growing things is a great thing. They're like, yeah, for me, it's like having something I can talk to, and it's a true thing. When you start to grow things, you feel like you're connected. I went out to the Ultimate Fighter, and so I've done peppers, I've done tomatoes, all sorts of stuff. Terrence loves my peppers. My son loves them. They're the best.
I think
Jalapeno peppers. They were
everybody
so good.
loves them.
Oh yeah, I used to bring him all the fights,
Everybody
fight
loves
weeks.
them, yeah.
So good. And I went to the Ultimate Fighter season 10 with Rashad Evans against Rampage. And I came back and everything had spider mites and stuff like that. I was like, oh, and it's because I wasn't having conversations with him. And but growing is a very, very cool thing. I enjoy that a lot.
I want to my son learn something like real.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
This is real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like because human like too much like consume like
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the store. or
Yeah,
to
it's
the
easy.
store. But we can do like by yourself.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit time, and it's good for a fighter to outside. gym,
Absolutely.
outside
Balance.
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a hobby, have
Yeah.
something that you enjoy to do it.
Yeah.
Again, it's better in your life, and there's a great feeling. I'm sure when you had tomatoes, they taste better. Like when I was
Yeah,
growing my
for
own
sure,
stuff,
for
you
sure.
have this connection to them. They're so fresh.
Yeah.
That it's amazing you do that.
Is it a
Yeah.
greenhouse you have or just outside?
Outside.
Outside, yeah,
Yeah.
Just garden. No
Garden.
house.
You'll have to show
Garden.
Luke your bees afterwards. It's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
cool,
Definitely
dude.
wanna see 'em.
100%.
I'd be so scared. I'd be out there like,
You
behave.
have the whole suit and everything,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Because say I don't know.
They'll
the
sting
name.
you?
Sting?
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
Yep.
After I cannot train, so
Yeah.
like my head
Yeah.
like that, my foot like that.
Oh, you did then
Yeah.
before you
See?
had the suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'll be the guy on the side. Be careful.
Yeah.
Behave. You know?
Uh,
That's a dumb joke. Sorry. Dude, I love when it's a dumb joke because Luke goes like
I'm
this.
like-
He shakes his head like this. Dude, Nate Marquardt used to do that because I love dad jokes because I love dumb jokes. And you did what they did. He closed his eyes, he go like this, and he just shake
Here
his
it
head
comes.
like he feels bad for me.
the
Here it
dad
comes.
jokes. The dad jokes. So let me ask you this: you've been, from where you're from,
Mhm.
and you've been to Florida, and you've been now to Colorado. Which ones do you like better? Like state-wise, like you like the
Not gyms, like the environment.
the environment, like the beach, the mountains.
I prefer the mountains.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I prefer because I love skiing too.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
but
Okay.
I didn't go because
Yeah.
I have a little bit
Injury?
in
Yeah.
my knee. But yes, I love skiing, and I know when I come here, I say, "Hey, to my son, we're gonna saw the snow."
Yeah.
We saw.
We haven't
Right.
seen no
Dude,
snow, yeah.
this is the craziest year ever.
One
Like there is no snow up there. We went up to Mount Evans 2 weeks ago, and we were at 12,000 feet. There was no snow. It was crazy. Like the
Yeah.
mountains I heard are just like hurting bad.
Yeah.
We bought a 4-pass. I don't plan on using it till after Justin's fight to go up snowboard with my wife. She loves snowboarding. The mountains. I'm a mountain man too. The only thing is, like, you guys look like mountain men because you guys could grow beards.
Oh yes.
I gotta like have a comb over. I gotta like grow my goatee and comb it up. But if I jump, it falls again. So I wish that I'd feel like a true mountain man if I could grow a beard.
Yeah.
Like if I one time I grew a mustache and it looked like dirt on my lip. One of my boxers, Verno Phillips, was like, dude, he's like, "T, you got dirt on your lip?" And I was like, "We're home and shaved it."
You gotta shave it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I take the mountains for granted because we're always here, and
And you live in the
I
mountains.
live in the mountains.
Yeah.
So I guess it's nice for me when I go to a beach. It's a good change.
Yeah, it's nice.
But you're right. I mean, if I had to choose between one or the other, I'm definitely liking the mountains.
Yeah. You can do like I think more things still in the summer.
Yeah.
Like in the winter,
Seasons,
you
yeah.
cannot go like
Yeah.
swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here you can do skiing. You can do like
Hiking.
walking,
Yeah, yeah.
hiking.
Yep.
And still in the summer,
Totally.
and you can do like bikes. You can
Yep.
do
Yep.
a lot of
The
things.
seasons are great.
Yeah.
I definitely like the difference. Sometimes, again, when you have a hot summer, you're looking forward to the chilly fall, and then you're
Yeah.
looking forward to the snow.
And you have green.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
beautiful.
This
It's
is
so
good.
green in
The
summer.
colors. We have colors. Yeah.
This is good
Yeah. Yeah. So you think you'll be back? You'll come back?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
100%.
Good.
That's
I was hoping you was gonna come back.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I know we love having you around
Yeah.
here, but I guess the main question here now is like, where do you see, like, I know you don't have anything lined up in the books
Yeah.
for the UFC right now, but what do you see 26 this year happening for you?
My goal is like 2 fights, one in May maybe after Ramadan.
Ramadan, yep.
Yeah, and one in Paris September.
Nice.
So for the next fight, I asked for a top 10, but they say
Yeah,
no, top 15.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna confirm my position in top 15, and after maybe fight a top 10 in Paris.
And move up.
Yeah,
Move up.
I
yeah.
want before the end of 2026 to be top 10.
Top 10.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah,
good.
my
goals.
You
goal.
just setting
And those-
goals is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's realistic goals. That's realistic. Yeah.
I
it's
think
good.
2 fights is good, like this year.
Yeah.
If we can do 3 is good, but 2 is good too.
Yeah. Staying healthy.
I'm not too much like the guy like more and more and more.
Yeah, yeah.
No, what I have, I'm happy.
And that's a good thing to think about. Like if you have everything, I know a lot of people that grow up with a lot, grow up with money, grow up with stuff, and they have no intention of like making money because they already have it. Sometimes when you get things too fast, you don't get to enjoy the number one process. And my favorite process of fighting and coaching for close to 30 years now is the journey. And now that I'm getting older and I'm not as young as I can't take the punishment like I used to be able to. I definitely feel the differences. Is really enjoy the process of the journey. Like
Yeah.
as a fighter, I say the same thing with my fighters. Make sure you look around when we're walking the aisle to go to the locker room. Remember this moment. It's very important not to just be focused on the fight that you can't remember which locker room you were at. What was that? You being in the moment and being present is key to greatness. It's when you get to a level in fighting, and I explained this when we were talking with Dwayne, is you climb a mountain and you get to that peak. That's a hard ride going up that mountain, and you're crawling up a 14,000 foot mountain. You get up there, and you get to look back, and you get to look at all the rocks that you had to overcome and the switchbacks that you had to go through. And then when you're up there, there's a moment of bliss. Like when you win a title, it's very nice the next day and the next day after that. But after the third day, it's like, hey, what's next? It's the same thing when you're on the top of a peak, a 14er. You're looking around to where's the next taller one. And when you can understand that whatever it is, whether it's fighting or whether it's some type of challenge in your life, these challenges become addictive. And they become experiences that grow you. But don't want everything too fast. If you
Yeah.
move too fast and you move up the ranks too fast, it becomes very tough. Like it takes experience, but the most important part is the journey, and understand that the hard days in the gym are the funnest pieces, and the overcoming things in the gyms, whether they're injuries, and just understanding that process. Fall in love with that piece, and then you're going to have such a story to be able to tell. Because a lot of times when you're just shooting up through and you're wanting these opportunities and all these things, it goes by very quick. And some guys move too fast. There's a lot of people that move too fast, and all of a sudden you don't see them anymore. And the whole piece is enjoy the ride, leverage what you're doing, and make it get on that money train and know how to ride the money train.
Yeah.
Don't just get in there for the fast fix. Well, again, I just want it, but I don't want to work for it. The work and the hard, the sweat, the tears, the blood, that's the process. That's the stories. And that's very cool that you say that. Understand your goals. Obviously have those shoot to the moon goals. Like you want to have a target that's off radar and why you're doing these small goals, but it's the small goals. To get at the top of the stairs, you have to look at each step and understand that piece. That's very cool that you have that mindset.
Yeah.
And great thing take time. You cannot like go like that tomorrow. I cannot be champion tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Like great thing take time, and more you take your time, like is better for you and is safe way.
Absolutely.
Like, you gonna be here like straight, maybe some like
Detours.
downs, but
Yep.
you're gonna be here. If you wanna go fast, maybe after in the middle, no gas to go.
Absolutely.
Like, so you need to take time.
We fought in Utah for Justin's fight when he fought Poirier, Poirier 2. Me and Ben, and Justin drove out, and then me and Ben drove home. They took Camaro was going out and took a private jet, and we were like, nah, we don't really want to do the private jet. We're going to drive. So we actually drove out, and actually, I think it was for Camaro's fight.
It was
Camaro's fight. And so it wasn't Justin's fight. That was when Camaro had fought Leon. And they took this private jet, and right before they were taking on, I'm so scared of like small planes, so scared. But you get on a plane, and in an hour and a half, you're on the ground. Dude, we've seen so much stuff driving through Utah, and like it's amazing. Like you miss a lot. So sometimes moving fast is good and effective. But I mean, we were driving through the mountains, and they had told us, dude, there's thunderstorms. We're sitting on the tarmac right now in this little plane. And dude, we were like, we're safe. We're so safe. But enjoy the process. Like, don't rush yourself. That's a huge key in life.
And you're actually coming out for Justin's fight next week, right?
He's gonna beat us there.
Yeah,
he leaves tomorrow. Like,
you do,
dude.
okay.
I'm like, dude, is he a one-upper?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna have everything set up on the mats. I'm like, dude, that's a teammate.
I'm gonna train with you guys.
Yes, I can't wait.
So you'll be in the back room with us, and this is something that I think, like a fighter now, that you should see, because I get to see, we share locker rooms with other guys too, but we're usually like, the main event, co-main event, so it's just very little guys back there. But the one thing that stands out is you get to see like other fighters, how they approach a fight.
Yeah.
And one thing that I will say, like me and this guy, we have coached a lot of guys together, but Justin is someone different. Like the way he just fight day to walking in the locker room, he is just such a chill, relaxed guy.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I fought, I was a fucking mess, bro. I was a mess. I was a head case. And Justin is like, you remember every time is like, he says, we're living the good times, boys.
Yeah.
And he's just so relaxed. He's taking in the moment, and like, it's a good day to
He's
die.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
He says crazy things. Like there's
just and he means it.
He means it, yeah.
And like, it's just a way that he approaches, he he did everything possible for that night to that night. He didn't take no shortcuts. He didn't, you were there too. And he's ready to go out there and perform. And I just think that's just like, if a guy can actually do that and see what he does, it's like, holy cow, I could be the same way.
Yeah.
And not because it's stressful for me when I fought.
I
like,
want to see
nerves.
everything from you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the cut weight, everything. I want to know, like learn, because I love learn. For me, life, you learn all your life.
Yeah.
And it's not like you don't have like bad thing. Only is good. Yeah. So we need just to see.
And you're gonna find out what works good for you.
Absolutely, because everybody's different. Like think about the weight cuts. Like Camaro. Camaro's weight cuts are like always tough.
Yeah.
Like when Justin got the cut with Camaro, he was like such a good leader too. He was like there giving him like ice. Hey, you need ice while he's cutting weight with him because we were fighting on the same card. But there's one thing that Justin said that just he wows me sometimes because I've heard guys say, dude, I'm not scared, coach, but you can tell don't be afraid to say that you're scared. It's okay. That's you're facing something. Being real is everything. And I've heard a lot of people fake say things. That's why I really enjoyed trading Rose. Rose was like so honest, so I could help her with the mental part, and the mental part is like one of my favorite pieces. Justin says wild things. He had said one time, he's like, dude, he's in the locker room, everybody's in there, and he's like, dude, I'm breaking both feet tonight. Dude, it's like, oh my God, dude. People look at him like, dude, this guy is nuts. And then what was the one that stood out to me was after we had lost to Poirier, and then, Eddie first, and then Poirier. In the locker room, he had said something that was just so unique to me because he's a wild man. Like he just loves this.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, he's like, I'm so scared right now. And I'm like, what do you mean scared? He's like, I'm so scared because I'm not scared. I should be. I lost my last two. And I'm like, dude, it's just funny. Like he just says funny stuff. Very unique. Very unique. Everybody's unique. And I think that's what you stated, Lucas. You got to find what's right for you. Some people, like I feel like Rose fought better. George St. Pierre fought better when he was scared. When Rose really, really feared her partner, she was on. Like she knew she had to be sharp. And when she got relaxed and was like, this should be an easy fight, those were the hardest fights. And you never would like. I would say never go into a fight thinking this is going to be easy. I don't care what level you're at, because that's where a lot of times you can never get relaxed. And that's the biggest piece is. One mistake changes everything in a fight, and you always have to be on point. So understanding that fear, not running from it, and accepting it is going to help you be more sharper. I love to see fighters' pupils open day of the fight. I love that. That is one thing that just excites me. Is when I get to hit mitts and we do our pre-fight or workout either in a hotel or in a gym prior to going to the arena. I love that piece where, man, you're like, you can hit this hard this whole time? You know, I'm used to the last 3 weeks where they're hard, we're peaking, and they're dead tired, and I'm just like, holy smokes. Like, geez, the kicks just, I love that piece. And that's where every fighter that I work with, I just love that with, because you know they're feeling it. They're super quiet. They're a lot more quiet. They're more dialed in. But that focus when they come in, that's one piece that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah, you won't see me jack with Justin.
No, So Perez got to see Luke, get beat up by. He's probably saying
yesterday was really bad.
He probably saying what my son said to me one time. We were in London, and my son talks to me, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you should have a talk with Justin, because I feel like he's bullying Luke. Like he's taking it too far." Dude, I told Luke, I was like, "Hey, Luke." I was like, hey, stop talking shit and get off the mats. And so he's already taken like 3 hard low kicks. And Luke is a great actor. He's the toughest guy you're ever going to be. Like he plays a lot of this stuff. Dude, I take him off the mats and he starts pointing his toe over the mat. Like he's like this. I'm like, stay off the mats. And he keeps doing this. Like a little child in high school, like, get in trouble. And I told Terrence, I was like, look at Luke. That's why he deserves his butt whooping, because he don't know when to stop. He don't know how to zip it. But that's fun times. Like Luke is such a pleasure. You got to see Luke this camp and get to understand that, like having Luke around, on top of the technical pieces and what he brings to the table as a coach, is making it light. He's very good at making the environment light. He gets Justin to have fun, get a little bit of distraction before we go in there and focus before very hard workouts. So. Yeah, getting to see Luke, I bet you was. I know a lot of people come in, they're like, "Who's this guy? Always talking shit." Such a fun guy to be around.
Well, it's stressful being a fighter, and then in fight week, because I know it. I was a fighter. I mean, you got all this stuff, and let alone, I was never a main event kind of guy, like Justin is, and all the media and all the questions over and over. Like it gets, So I just try to make it fun. You gotta have fun and relax, and sometimes I. Should shut up. But,
you like it though.
It's fun.
You like it. I know on the way home sometimes like the leg kicks they probably hurt for a day or two, but like the just getting in there and moving around.
Oh, I wouldn't have
it's
it
a relief.
any other way. Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I know, even like yesterday, I got my butt licked. I got a kick yesterday, but I loved every minute of it. I did.
We all did.
It was so fun. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So, we get to sit back and giggle, so that's fun. As long as it's not me. Justin's never kicked me or punched me. You know why?
He's on his team.
He's my fighter. I work for him.
I
work for him. And I'll tell you something, Luke. Luke, we work side by side, but he's always right. Even if he's wrong, he's right. That's my guy.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I'm telling him how it is. And sometimes it costs me, right? That's all right. Oh, man. So I guess here's the thing, so where do you go from here now? You gonna go back to France?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to France to do the Ramadan with my family.
Okay.
I miss my mother, my father.
Oh yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go back go back to France, stay maybe like the whole month of Ramadan, maybe 2 more weeks, and maybe I try to talk to you to come back.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love
Yeah.
you for you to bring your team out.
Yep.
Thank you so
Anything
much.
we could do, this is a very private gym. It's been a little bit more packed right now just because we're helping out one of my partners, Corey Sanhagen's head coach, Carrington Banks. Such an amazing person. That Corey and him are starting their own gym, so they needed a place for about 2 months. So I was
Okay.
like, before we launch, because we're launching pretty much like mid-February. We'll be opening this up to all UFC athletes. We don't charge anything. We have chefs here. Everybody's been loving the
meals.
food at Alexandra. Has been making amazing, just high level chef. Having all the opportunity, and again, you don't have to worry about paying nothing. It's about focus. So we would love to invite you out
you.
for that. Like that's one thing. But I do have a question that being a coach, being around the fighter, being around the family, how does your wife handle you fighting? No one really sees it behind the scenes, and this is something to understand, because this has been the hardest part for me as a coach, is not the fighters. Fighters know how to handle ups and downs, and but families, for me, being a fighter is tough, and you're in there doing those things, but it's harder on the families.
Yeah.
With that, how does she like you fighting, and how does she handle you fighting?
I know her for a long time, so they already know when I have like 17 years old, I was like fighter, like
Yeah.
but small fighter,
yeah.
like, and she before she didn't understand what is fighting,
yeah.
training, but now she understands very well. She helped me like very good. She cook for me,
It's
like
amazing.
when I cutting weight, everything. She's here. If I have like stress or fear from the fight, I talk to her
Amazing.
first.
That's huge.
So yes, she have like good mindset. She know me for a long time, and she want to me to be a champion. So
Absolutely.
she
About
helped me a
having
lot.
that support group,
Yeah.
that backbone
Yeah.
is so important. Thank God for my wife, Christina. She on call. If I'm like, hey, I need my neck rubbed, like when I first met you and I was looking up at you like this, like I go home, I say, babe, can I get a neck rub? Because I'm feeling it. And man, she is on it. Having someone that supports you. My wife doesn't go to the fights no more. She realized one time, she's like, Trevor, you're very serious when you're at the fights, and I'm a very loving guy. When I get home, I'm all about my family, and I try to really balance that. She came to a fight in Seattle for Nate Marquardt's fight, and she wrote me a letter when I got home. And she's like, hey, I love you, and I know you had a job. She's like, I don't want to distract you no more because I want to stay in the room.
Yeah.
And it's I wouldn't say I had a short fuse, but she could tell, coaches deal with the stress. I might not show it in front of my athletes, but we're dealing with the stress also, and it's a different stress. Like I'm not getting in there. You guys are the ones getting in there. But it's, again, I care, and being able to be a mentor and a coach, I want to see them succeed. And there's a lot on the line, and seeing the growth, and that's been something that's been very hard for me as I started getting older and getting wiser in the fight world. Was I used to be like, after a fight, I was like, I didn't care what the other opponents thought. Like I didn't figure who was in the crowd. I was just like, jumping in joy and like, pointing at the crowd and didn't care about the outcome. And then as I get older, a lot of people have asked me the question, like, why are you not happy after your fighter wins? And I'm like, I'm totally happy. I'm so joyous. First off, I go in there with the expectation to win, after having a training camp, because we set the goal to win. And I know was the process. So I'm not jumping for joy because that was just a task at hand.
Yeah.
Secondary, celebration is hard because this is real. And some people bring their kids to the fight. Some people bring their significant other, bring their parents. There's people out there that support this person. And even though that we're stepping up and we're taking another notch and another leap to success in our career, we have just knocked someone off the shelf for their goals. And that's hard. Like when we fought Cowboy Cerrone, that was hard because I knew Cowboy for so long and a great friend of him. And that was hard watching Justin fight him. So those are the kind of the pieces. When it comes to fight night, does your wife go with you?
No.
What? No?
No,
That's good.
She stay to to the hotel or to the room in the house, but she don't come to see the fight.
Yeah, that's
Me,
it's
I
hard.
don't. Me, I don't want,
Yeah,
and she don't. She
that's
want,
great.
but she don't want to.
That's great. It's
She
it's a distraction sometimes because you're
Yeah,
like, that's a
yeah,
way. That's a
yeah.
there's I've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
There's one more little short story I want to tell. Rashad Evans was fighting Solomon, and Solomon's family was there, and Keith. This is a long time ago. This is 20 years ago, 18 years ago probably. And Rashad was fighting. I forget his first name, but Solomon was his last name. And their family was there, and we're probably 20 rows back on the floor. Solomon was probably three rows from the front, and Keith Jardine's and all Jackson's team was like right there. And Solomon was his family was supporting him, and Keith was like getting pissed because of the shit that they were saying. And I remember when Rashad head kicked him and knocked him out. It's actually the trophy. That picture is Rashad
Okay.
Evans.
Okay.
I'll have to show you a picture. No one will believe like the MMA awards piece. That's Rashad Evans throwing the kick. Doesn't look like his body type. He showed me the picture, but it was from that fight.
Really?
And when he knocked him out, like Keith Jardine and everybody was like, like you're supporting your fighter. And I'll never forget just watching the family. And there was like, it looked like his sisters. It was very hard to watch. And that's where this sport, again, you have to be a killer. You have to go in there with the mindset, as Fedez had said with Justin, having that mindset. You can't think about those things because they will make you soft. But with time, that's been the hard piece for me. And I think it's really cool that you don't have your wife come to the fight because that is hard for them to watch. And just the screaming, it'll make you make different decisions. You're on the ground and they're screaming, just do something. Like that's a scary, scary, scary thing to hear. And I would, if I was fighting at a high level, I don't think I'd be able to bring my family also. Be very tough. Yeah, watch it from home. I'll call you afterwards, let you know I'm okay.
Yes.
But yes, that's tough.
Only my stepfather corner me sometimes.
Nice.
But
Yeah, but he's from the sport. He understands.
he
He's not gonna feel
But-
bad for you and be like, oh, your life is over after this.
Yeah.
It's hard too because they know too, like especially the ones that are close to you that have been for the ride. The hard part is if you have a loss, they're worried about you mentally. They're like, what's the next 2 months going to be like? Are they going to sit in bed and just be depressed? Like, what's going to happen?
but my stepfather was very stressful when I fight.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well-
remember my first professional fight.
Yeah.
I was 17 years old, and they called me like Tuesday. You want to fight Saturday? I said yes. And my stepfather all day saw the fight of my opponent.
Yeah.
And when we go to the fight, he was in my city, so he drive.
Yeah.
He drive, and I was next to him, and I say, "Hey, why you so stressed?
Yeah.
I'm gonna win."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't want come back to home and your face is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
break."
Yeah.
I said, "Don't worry," and I win first round submission.
Nice.
So
There you go.
he
You
was
helped him out a
happy.
little bit. See, I
Yeah,
told you. Then you didn't have to
yeah.
worry about that. But that's a hard thing because he cares about you. And he's from the
Yeah.
fight world.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a hard thing too. Like my son, man, he could hit mitts so good when he was young. Like this is when he was 5 years old, and he was so talented. And when he wanted to play soccer, I was like, dude, please play soccer. I was like, dude, because seriously, it'd
It's
be
the
very
truth,
hard.
though. That's what you
My
wanna do,
wife
yeah.
at one point said she wanted to try it, and I was like, nope, you're not trying it. No,
No.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I would not be able to corner you.
Me
It'd
too.
be so hard.
I don't want my son to.
It'd be so hard. It's like because you bring the emotional piece into it
Yeah,
because you
it's
know it's
hard.
real. But again, you
Yeah.
know you can handle that. And me as a coach with my friends, again, I'd being able to be there for them. And again, I'm one of those guys. I've stopped fights before. I was actually the first guy in the MMA to stop a fight. They actually tried not to even allow me to stop the fight, which was crazy because in boxing you just throw the towel
Yeah.
in. But that's the one thing that that makes me comfortable. And I always have the conversation. I visualize in the shower prior to every fight. And I get to myself and I put myself in bad situations. What would I do in this situation? What would I do in this situation? And then I have to think over the positive stuff and momentum and things like that. But I always have that in mind that I have to be real and understand the situation at where we're at, that safety and health is more important. And a coach knows their athlete because they see them spar every time. And if there's something different in their posture and the way that they're reacting to things, you know better than anybody, and you have to be able to make those decisions because we want longevity. And being able to see guys like this fight, absolutely. I want to see longevity, and I want to see a long
Thank you.
career. So it's I'm really looking forward to your career.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of careers, what would be some of your top fights? You used to watch in either the early UFC days, now UFC days, Pride, or K1.
Yeah.
What were some of those fights that you liked?
Was it top three?
Yeah, top three. I
Top,
think
what
that's
is top
what-
top
It's
three?
hard.
That's hard for me.
hard.
I won't be able
It's
to answer.
hard, but honestly, the first fight I saw to John Jones, it was John Jones versus Shogun Rura, and I love this fight because the technique, like
Yeah.
kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, everything perfect.
Yep.
And the number two is like to learn, for me to learn, Khabib versus Barboza,
Yeah.
Edson, because good wrestling, good control. And the last, I think, is Islam versus Poirier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I like this
That was a
fight.
great fight,
Yeah.
and
Great
Poirier
fight.
did his homework in that fight. It was great. Like
Yeah.
his escapes were awesome. Landing good shots actually cut Islam.
Islam,
And
yeah.
Islam had to weather the storm, but again, the champion that he is, like so
mindset,
amazing. The way he scooped the leg and just disrupted the hip
Yeah.
balance,
Yeah.
like high level stuff going on. Super
And
cool.
Just one more.
Yeah, I say top four. I like
Yeah,
it.
let's do it.
Hey, let's go. We go top five if you like.
The fight who I've who's this guy like really is Gage versus Ferguson.
Oh man, what an amazing fight.
Which one?
Yeah.
Gaethje?
Ferguson.
Yeah.
Ferguson,
Tony, yep.
Gage
Oh, yeah.
versus Ferguson.
Oh,
he
yeah,
actually
yeah.
got a tattoo on his leg because of that fight.
I was thinking like Tony Ferguson gonna win for
Yep.
me,
Yeah,
but when I saw the fight,
Yeah.
I was like,
it was amazing.
but he
It was
I think
bad.
it-
2 weeks notice too.
it
We weren't even in
it takes
camp.
some part of his life, I think.
Yeah, it was. That's another tough one to
much.
watch. Like that was. We were actually screaming. I remember in the fifth round.
We
I was,
stopped
I was,
coaching.
I was like, stop the fight. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
you'll hear me talk to Herb Dean. I'm saying over and over, stop the fight. Stop.
Yeah.
He's not responding right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just too tough for his own good. Like that Tony was on a 13 fight win streak. It's
Yeah.
crazy. That was a great fight.
Yeah. First round.
Oh, the
uppercuts.
uppercut, dude, is the best when to do. Justin comes back, dude, and Justin has this thing, and I thought he was like he hesitated, but there's a thing where we show the overhand and bring the uppercut, and I thought for some reason he hesitated on the overhand and got caught with the uppercut, and when he came back, that's when we had the conversation, pull back on your punches a little
Yeah.
bit because he was trying to kill him.
I start following Gage this time.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
right there.
What an
exactly.
amazing fight to be in an arena with no crowd.
crowd.
Like it was crazy to hear the
You
sound of
could
the
hear
punches.
Every punch.
It was
And
very, very cool. Like the PI is very cool like that, but
Yeah.
when you're in an arena, there's just this echo factor. Like it was
Yeah.
like crazy.
Yeah.
I could hear what the commentators were saying. It was crazy.
It was
Yeah,
nuts.
I prefer the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
But just having that experience, like that's
Yeah.
once in a lifetime, especially for that fight, because that fight with just the sounds of the punches was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I fight
Yeah.
the same Fight Island.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to experience that too.
Yeah.
We were there at the first show where they had race cars going on. We're gonna fight. Rose was gonna fight at 3 a.m. and Cabano was gonna fight at 6 a.m. And
Yeah.
I remember we were trying to sleep during the daytime, and they had these race cars going on all day. I was like, oh my gosh, it was.
Yeah.
I was so lacking sleep on that show.
That's crazy.
So, what's your top three?
Ooh, man, I don't know. It's so hard for me. I'm a big Rampage Jackson fan.
Okay.
I liked him.
Yeah.
You know, Vanderlei Silva. You know,
Yeah.
So, is this your top three fighters or fights?
I'm gonna say fighters just because the fight. I mean, if you ask me, dude, I'm a biggest fan of Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
I really am. And every time Justin goes out there and fights, it's
Fireworks.
crazy. Even from the early days when
Yeah.
he fought in
Palomino and
yeah,
dude, he used
you
to.
know.
So speaking about Palomino, ever since we fought Palomino the first time,
Yeah.
after that, we fought him again. We rematched him again, and Palomino was a killer. Like and we're still not in the UFC yet, and he was
Okay.
the World Series of Fighting champion.
The
The second fight, because Palomino was so good and hit so hard, he
It's
started
tough.
puking in the locker room every fight before we go out.
Yeah.
So that was like a ritual. Now, ever since that, he broke something. Like there's something that broke in you. Every fight he throws up now, dude.
I gotten soft. I
Dude,
got
he throws up every time that Justin's about
it's
to
weird,
fight.
just because I know how he's gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know what he's going out there. When he says, "I don't plan on being alive the next day,"
Yeah,
he fucking means that.
yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
that is
fucking.
definitely-
We know this.
Yeah.
Like, would we ever allow that? No, but he's willing to go out there and do that,
Yeah.
and it just, so. Yeah, I'm a biggest fan of Justin Gaethje. I am really became.
Did you ever show
Just-
Fredez your tattoo that he got after Tony Ferguson
Yeah,
fight?
yeah.
You
So
get
my,
one?
I got a tattoo of him.
Oh.
Look at Justin as a little baby. He's breaking the bottle. He's got glasses on because he used to wear glasses. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
He promised if he beat, we were at
A dinner.
Yeah, so we were at dinner after the weigh-in. So we go to our little celebration dinner.
Yeah.
You know, after weigh-ins, and he had a few drinks.
Yeah,
And he tells Justin, he's like, dude, Justin, you win the fight. I'm gonna tattoo you on my body. Dude, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Justin
Right
wins the
after he
fight.
won.
Justin wins the fight, right? The first thing comes out of his mouth, "You're getting a tattoo." And I'm like, "Oh God, I gotta do it." And I did it. I'm a man of my word. But yeah, there's so many top fights in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm just a fan of the sport now. Like
Yeah.
guys like all the up and comers now that I'm like
Yeah,
looking
there's
at
so
some
many
of these
guys.
guys. I'm like, dude, these
God,
guys.
it's evolution. And you're in that evolution.
Yeah, you guys.
You know, again, doing every art from the beginning.
Yep.
Like judo, freaking
That's what I'm
jujitsu,
saying.
kickboxing, boxing, coming from a fight family. This sport is
Changed so
evolving.
much. Yeah, it changed so much.
My stepfather say to me, if you want to be a UFC fighter or do MMA, you need to do everything.
Everything. It's amazing. Because from the day that he was fighting, when you come to the UFC, you're either a wrestler,
Yeah.
you're either a boxer, you're either a kickboxer, a jiu-jitsu player,
Yep.
and then you learn the other stuff as you start to compete. So you start to add it. Now it's like, dude, the gyms, like when I was running gyms, we had every type of class that you could have. Like just the evolution, and you could see it. Like just a level of fighting and in a technical manner is so cool.
It's crazy.
Very cool. So my top three. Okay, so I'll have to go with I'll go with Roy McDonald versus
Robbie Lawler.
Lawler.
Oh yes.
That fight is a fight that I will never forget. That was just one of those fights. I think it kind of definitely changed Roy's career after that fight. And again, I was close to Faraz up in Canada because of George and our connection through Jackson's. So I got to know Roy, not very close, but I just knew him as a person, and was around him a lot. So that was kind of hard to watch. I would say kickboxing. I would say that, man, Masato and Bakao was one of the best fights ever. That I'll never forget that fight because they pronounce it in Japan, Masato. He was a guy,
Extra rounds.
dude. That fight, that's what made that fight so crazy because Bakao was winning, and man, the Japanese judges, they wanted him to defend that belt because he was the champion coming in. And that's when Dwayne, we were on that same card, and he had fought in the K1 championship many times, multiple times, the Grand Prix. And man, when they go like this after round 3, they go to a round, and then all of a sudden it's a draw. And I'll never forget Masato's face. He looks at the judges like, I gotta go back, and he keeps getting front kicked in the face. Remember, dude? That's like a kind of like in the Thai world. That's kind of a disrespectful piece because you're kicking with the dirt from the ground up there. But they come back after 4 round, and then a draw again. Dude, he dominated. He looked at the judges like, dude, I know I didn't win that round. And then round 5. I love K1. K1 was awesome.
Yeah.
Boxing, man, there's let me think. It was a good boxing match. I mean, there was so many good ones. I really liked the I Corte. He was one of my favorite fighters. Bazooka jab, I Corte, De La Hoya fight. I thought that was a great fight. I would say top 4 is Fedez and Justin's rounds on Tuesday. Those were good, dude.
They were definitely good rounds.
Those were good. And then, hey, I'll go top 5. Luke fighting Nicole 2 weeks ago. Dude, if you made him laugh like this, he'd almost die, dude. He was fighting for his life, dude. You poor guy.
I was. That thing kicked my ass.
You're
Oh,
good
man.
Yeah, he's good now. He
Oh,
almost,
yeah,
so we
I'm
did
good.
Beavis and Butthead yesterday. He almost
Oh,
died.
I
So
did.
you're definitely way better today.
It was way better. Let me ask you this: where can our listeners find you at on the social media, YouTube, whatever you got? What platforms?
like how I work.
Yeah, like
on,
do you have Instagrams or any social
Instagram.
media? Like how would someone follow you?
Okay.
Yeah, like because there's tons of fans out there, and I know again
They wanna check
getting to
you
meet
out.
you, it's like I'm gonna follow you even more. Like again, your personality and your skill set. Again, if I had social media, I'd be following you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have Instagram
Yep.
and YouTube.
Okay, and what is your handle?
My first name and my last name.
Okay.
Oh, easy.
Ziam, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Perez.
And we'll tag him and everything on
Ziam.
this, right? Terrence will tag him up and everything.
And out of the
yeah.
blue corner, we got Perez. Zim.
Yeah, you're good.
The one and only.
You're
And
good.
I have
The smile killer. Look at his smile. Do not get distracted by his beautiful smile.
That's Trevor.
Sorry, I'm a little
You
hyper.
have YouTube or anything?
yeah, I have YouTube. Yeah.
nice.
Same thing.
Like I do for my fight week.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And sometimes fight camp.
Nice.
Nice. Very cool. So it is the same handle though?
Yeah.
Yeah, same handle. So
same.
first last name.
Nice. Okay. Is there
And-
anything else you want to shout out to anybody?
Thank you to Trevor and Luke
Yeah,
for
yeah.
inviting me to the podcast.
Heck
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love to learn to you guys. Like you coach so many times, so many people like high level, and it's good for me. Like I become like slowly to this level, and it's no to learn.
Absolutely. And I'm really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to meeting your fight family, your coaches, and the
Thank you.
people who have made you great
Yeah.
and have planted the right seeds. It's I always say it takes people as you get to a certain level, and when I have fighters, they're like, oh, thank you, Trevor, thank you, Luke. Like guy like Justin Gaethje, it's not us that has made him great. It's people throughout his whole life
Yep.
that have planted seeds, whether it's family, his parents, good teachers through school. People he looked up to in sports, maybe coaches playing football and the different sports that he played. So there's thousands of people that help people get to the point that you're at.
Yep.
But I'm very, very, very excited to meet your fight family
Yeah.
and get to shoot some conversation with them.
Yeah.
And you guys are always invited. I would love to have you up here more, and I look forward to the
Okay.
journey, brother.
Thank you so much.
Well, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you for coming on the show and being here at the camp. And like I said, we look forward to having you around a little longer.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's enough. We'll wrap it up for this one. Guys, stay tuned. We got plenty more coming.
One round at a time.
Hey. All right. We out.